yarn friends, welcome back to LlamaMamaKayla's Yarn Tube. Thanks for dropping by today. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made this granny square pillow. So on this pillow I used a Karen swirl cake. You can use any yarn you want. You can use a 4-ply. This happens to be a bulky 5, I believe. And so that's what I used. And on this I did use an 8mm hook. Like I said, you can use a 4-weight and whatever hook you like to use with that. Now, that's the front side of the pillow. And on the back side is more like the envelope pillow. And I wanted it this way on purpose so that I can take this cover off and use the pillows to fill other pillow covers. And so, that's what I'm going to be showing you how I made this today. And also I'm going to be using a crochet hook, and I'm using 1 strand of 4-weight yarn to single crochet this together. And so I'm using a 5.5 hook, and you're going to need some scissors and a button of your choice. This is the button that I had available. I didn't want to go out and purchase anything, and so I had that in my button bin, and that's what I used. My tapestry needle does not fit in the button, so I used just a little piece of plastic that came on a tag or something, and I used that to pull the yarn through the buttonhole, and then I just tie it off. I didn't use a tapestry needle because there just wasn't a need for one for me today on this project. You know, you might have a button where you can use a tapestry needle, so that's just up to you. But anyway, let's get started, and I'll show you how I made this granny square pillow. I'm not showing you how to make the granny square. You can make a granny square on your own. I'm just showing you how I used a granny square to make the pillow. So, thanks guys. Here we go. Okay, so hey guys, I wanted to show y'all how I'm going to make this giant granny square, which is 16 rounds, to turn into a pillow cover. So I made this giant granny square with a Karen cake swirl, and I think the name of it was called like iced. I'm not quite sure about that. The Karen cakes are sold at Michael's for $9.99. You can also purchase them online. But if you go in the store and buy one, make sure you have the that week's coupon, which I think right now they're just doing 20% off, and sometimes they might do a 30% off, and then sometimes they might mail something in the mail, not email, but regular mail, and they may have a 40% off coupon on there. But anyway, I used the swirl cake to make this big granny square, and I have a pillow here that I wanted to turn this. I have a pillow that I wanted to use this with to turn into a pillow. As I was trying it on the pillow, I did run out right here at 14 rounds, and then I tried it on the pillow, and it wasn't quite big enough. I wanted to give a little extra room, so I took some Crafter's Secret that I had in my stash and matched this pretty good, and I used 2 strands held together and went around 2 more times to make it fit the size I needed. And I did use an 8mm, which is an L hook. So this is what I used on the swirl cake and on the 2 strands together. So what I want to do is turn this into a pillow cover, and I'm not going to completely sew it together. I'm going to make it so that I can take it off and wash it, or I can take it off and put a different one on the pillow to change with seasons. But this does match my living room, so it'll probably be the main thing on it. So I'm turning it where the wrong side is facing up. Wrong side's facing up. Okay, so I have this pillow that I had purchased at Michael's a couple of summers ago. That's Flamingo, And so that's the pillow I'm going to use, because I do like this pillow in the springtime and summertime, but now we're moving on. Excuse me. Now we're moving on into the fall months, and so instead of storing this pillow away in the closet, I thought I could just make a cover for it, and then the pillow will still be in use, and then between seasons or whatever, I just have to store this instead of the big old pillow. So, depending on what size pillow you use, you'll want to make enough rounds so that I'm laying my pillow on here, and I've kind of got it like diamond shape. Like I have this square, but I have this turned. It's not turned like square. It's turned more like diamond shape. And I'm trying to get this point here just in the center. Not sure how much, if you can see that really well, but trying to get that in the center part. So then I'm just going to take my ends and fold it up, and then kind of pop this a little bit so that it will come together easily. And you can still see the pink through there, and that's fine because that matches my living room just fine. But one thing I am going to do is I'm going to flip the pillow because I want the pink to show through on the front and not the back. So I'm going to flip the pillow and do that same thing again. Let me see if I got it kind of centered. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to single crochet this together and pull this one up and single crochet that together. And that one I'm not going to single crochet because I want it to be left as an envelope so that I can take the pillow out and either wash this or store this and put a different covering on it for another season. And then my plan is to sew this button on here and then just kind of pop that through to hold it closed. So that's my plan. Let's see how it works out. Okay, so I'm taking this pillow and I'm going to turn it to get comfortable here in a way that I can crochet it together. I'm getting my yarn situated here. And I'm just kind of, I'm going to start at the beginning because I don't really know where to start on this end. So I'm going to start on this end. So I need to turn this, since I'll be crocheting in this direction. And get my yarn all situated here. See if I can pull it a little closer to me. And I'm just crocheting with one strand, so I'm going to go to a smaller hook. And I'm going to use my 5.5 hook just because I am using one strand here. And I'm going to go through my corner pieces here. Now I'm just winging it, so we'll see what works and what don't work. I'm going to pull that through, and then I'm going to single crochet that. Oh, I grabbed the wrong strand there. I'm going to go back through and grab the working strand. Okay. And I'm just going to single crochet that. Okay. And then I'm just going to go through just going to go along, go in each stitch and just single crochet it together. And I'm making sure that on this, because I use 2 strands, I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting all 4 strands on each side. Okay, and in the gap, I'm just going to go in the space and then go back into the stitches immediately. Okay, I'm back at a gap. Oops, I pulled up a strand from somewhere else. Back in the chain space. See, that's crocheting up pretty good. I like that. It's leaving a little ridge, but it's laying down. But even if it stood up, that's still fine. I'm trying not to get off camera here. Okay, I'm just going into the chain space. Now, I guess you could have counted the spaces and stitches and tried and made it precise, but I'm a wing it kind of person, so I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna go all the way to the corner. All right. Can you still see me on the camera? Okay, in my last space, I'm going to go ahead and snip that, and then I'll weave in this tail later. I get enough tail that I can't weave it in, it doesn't come undone. Okay, just tighten that down, and then I'm going to weave that in a little later. So I want the corner to fit all the way up in that corner good. Alright, and so on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Just reach that over. I'm going to go through my corner spaces and alright, now I'm just going to slip that through. Uh-oh, I dropped it. Bring that through and go back through to make a single crochet to start with. Alright, and now I'm just going to single crochet just as I did on the other side. at the chain space. Dakota's cat just jumped up her on the table. I hope he doesn't come over here. He's looking to see what I'm doing. Alright. My arm's getting tired. Alright, I'm going to make sure I'm on camera there. See how quick and simple this is? I mean, the biggest part of it is just making that granny square. And you just make it as big as you need it for your pillow, whatever size pillow you're using. That looks a little funny. Let me try that again. I like how this is turning out. Okay, we're almost done. And that's all the single crocheting that this is going to need. It's just these two sides here that aren't very long, especially if you're using a smaller pillow. Yeah, my yarn's hung up on my... Okay. Okay. I'm right at the end again, so... Alright. And now I'm just going to snip that and leave another tail to weave in. Okay, that was really simple. So with these two tails, I'm going to just tie those because that will be where the button goes. So I'm just going to tie that to make that very secure. And that was the tail from this side and the tail from this side where I went on. And so that's pretty good. I'm going to clip that off. Okay. So now, and I'm also going to weave these other two tails in, but I'll do that off camera. Okay, so now on this, what I need to do is sew this button right here, and then just bring that in to go through. So you want a button that is going to fit through, but when it's on the outside, it'll kind of be like a button. So just find a space there that you can use as a buttonhole and make sure that will fit in. Now this color button is a little bit brighter than this. If I had a gray button, that would be cool, but that's the color button I have, so that's what I'm going to go with. Now I know my tapestry needle is not going to fit through those buttonholes, and if you have one that does, that's awesome. So I'm going to use this little plastic piece that came on something. I'm not sure you can even really see that. This plastic piece came on something, a tag or something was on it, and I saved this to use to pull yarn through buttonholes. So I'm going to cut me a piece of yarn. I'm probably going to need a crochet hook instead of a tapestry needle. So what I'm going to do is take this little piece here and poke it up through a hole. And I'm not sure how well that's going to show on camera. So what I'm doing is poking this up so it makes a loop. You can do that with something else. It doesn't have to be this little plastic piece. I know they also make needles with the loops. And if I had one of those, it would be great. But I don't. So make do with what you have. Now I can't get my yarn through there. Okay, so my yarn, and I'm just going to pull it through. And I'm probably just going to do that with this other side also. So I'm finding a little plastic piece there. And then I'm going to stick this yarn tail through there and pull it through. Okay, so get my yarn kind of the same length. Okay, so that's what I have so far. And depending on how this turns out, I may come in through those other holes. So I want my button about right there. So I'm just going to go in that hole right there. Stick my yarn in there. And then I'm going to take this yarn and kind of stick it in the same hole over here on this side. And then I'll turn this around. And I'm going to take these two and I'm going to tie them in a knot. I know I want this to be very secure. So I'm just going to tie that in a knot right there. And then I'm going to take I don't think I can poke that up through there. So I'm going to take my thing again. This time I'm going to go in from the top. And pull this yarn up through the bottom. And I'm using that same strand. I didn't get this strand again. I'm just using that one strand. I'm going to go in from the bottom and pull this strand through the button. Oh, I didn't pull. Okay, and then I'm just going to feel right here for a space to stick that yarn in. I got it back out, so I'm going to tie it in. And let me see how that does. That feels pretty secure. I don't have small children, so if you have small children, you might would want to do it again. Go take the yarn back up through the loops, but I think it's fine for my home. So I'm just going to cut this yarn off right down here and take this, put the button through the hole there, and there is my pillow. So this is called like an envelope granny square. I'm not sewing these together because I want to be able to take it off and slip it out to change pillows or to change covers on the pillow. So here's what the other side looks like. And you can see the pink through it, which I like for my living room. That looks great. I like how it turned out. So I'm going to weave these ends in or tie them off some kind of way. I could take the pillow out and turn this wrong side out and do it, you know, the correct way. But I think I'm good with this. And I might do that later. I'm just going to stick this tail in there. I tied it off again to make it more secure. And then I think I might take the pillow out and turn it wrong side out. And weave those tails in better because I don't want to leave a strand out here, I don't think. Alright, so that is how I made my granny square pillow for my couch. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. And if you make pillows, I'd love to see and hear about them. Thanks for watching, guys.